Hello, my two lovely Agony Aunties, Sophie and Emily. I have a question. I have just listened to your latest question at a time where I'm wondering if I've left it too late to reclaim my own sexual self. I've been a single parent for 15 years and have had no sexual partners during that time. My kids are the centre of my world, but are adopted and both have issues that until very recently have soaked up 99% of my time and energy. I love them, but have just turned 60 and I'm feeling a sadness about the loss of my sexual self. I don't quite know where to start reclaiming it, or even if it's possible. I've never felt very successful in relationships, so also feel fearful of trying again. I would love to know how other people navigate this. Thank you so much.
Well, firstly, no, it's definitely not too late to reclaim your sexual self. And
I agree. Never too late.
Yes, never too late. And of course, part of that is grieving what you missed and what you didn't get to have because of the way your life course has been. And I think it could be really scary to start to explore sexually when it hasn't been part of your life for a really long time. Firstly, usually that exploration should really start with exploring yourself.
Yeah, I thought that.
And just working out what you find pleasurable and what is enjoyable for you before branching out. And I have a few recommendations for you. One is to listen to the Savage Lovecast, because they give lots of different advice, and it's a very broad church of questions, but there are lots of questions similar to yours. Dan Savage has some really good book recommendations, which I'm going to pass on to you. And one is called Come As You Are by somebody called Dr. Emily Nogoski, which is about the sort of science of female pleasure, really. And I think quite a nice sort of toe in the water of just thinking about how your body works and ways to find pleasure that are specifically female. And the other one is called Naked at Our Age by somebody called Joan Price. It's a book of lots of different case studies for people over the age of 50 and how they experience sex and relationships. So it has lots of different perspectives. So some are from couples and some are for people on their own. There's like a big variety. So they're kind of a bit like Mum's book, actually. They're sort of case studies. And at the end of each case study, there's like tips and advice from different therapists and experts. So it might be worth just looking at that book. I am really glad that you are thinking about it and thinking, where can I start, alongside being really sad for what you haven't had.
And the other piece that I would add as a precursor, and it comes with your question, which is to really give yourself permission now, like internally with your sexual self, to have sexual pleasure. Like somehow you put it down, you had to put it down because there was so much demand on you. And now to create this kind of dialogue internally of being curious. But I think it comes from permission giving first, that I want to have sexual pleasure. I want to kind of reignite this very important part of me that, isn't just about having sex or intercourse. It's about eroticism. It's about energy. It's about how you feel in your body. It's sensations. Where I would add in with Emily is putting your toe in the water of things like Dipsy, which are erotic stories. I was given the Gillian Anderson book which is the new My Secret Garden, which is people's secret fantasies. There's so much more out there now. Therapist Uncensored is another one. And none of them will be all for you, but just like set time aside, really conscious time aside to, I'm going to listen to this for 10 minutes. Maybe I'll have a look at this. Maybe I'll do that. And sort of see how you feel in your body and what comes up for you. But I think you have to kind of prioritize it, having given yourself permission, and put time aside for it.
It's a brave thing.
It's a brave thing, yeah.
That idea of erotic energy, if you imagine that you have not been sort of filling up your tank of feeling erotically charged in your body, which is not just about sex even or masturbation on your own, it's also how you relate to yourself as a being that enjoys touch and sensory experience, that kind of erotic energy, and Esther Perel is good on this, is a really, you can charge yourself up on your sort of, when your battery's been this low for a long time, in lots of different ways that don't even involve sex.
Smells, feeling clothes on you.
Dancing, music, connecting, sort of allowing yourself to see yourself as a body worthy of that kind of attention and love. Because I think once you're past the kind of 20s of youth where this sort of culture sort of stamps you as someone who's worthy of sexual attention, then this is something that you need to embrace for yourself. It's the way you walk down the street. It's the clothes that you put on your body. What makes you enjoy being in your skin, and therefore enjoy touching your own skin, whether that's stroking, there's things like stroking your own hand and feeling your own skin is a kind of way of engaging yourself as someone who's worthy of touch and enjoys being touched. Those are also useful steps where you don't even need to jump straight in to sexual content.
I went to a different trauma conference a few weeks ago, and one of the things that we did, and you can imagine this because you can't see it, is that if you rub your hands together, that kind of gives you kind of warmth and energy, and then you give a self hug where you stroke your arms or you can stroke your hand, and that can be very soothing, and that's a very nice kind of not very intrusive, but a kind of small step and a way in to connecting with yourself.
I really love the poem by Maya Angelou, Phenomenal Woman, which is...
Oh, yeah, and watch her saying it.
And watch
Go
her
to
saying
YouTube.
it. Like, that's a woman who's got in contact with her sexual energy.
Yeah, incredibly inspiring. Thank you so much for your question. I hope this is helpful. And if other people have other questions, do please send them to us, either through my Instagram or through my email. And I hope this is helpful. Thanks.